Nerf Gaming www.youtube.com/nerfgaming1337.
Hi guys, and welcome to episode 16 from Nerf Gaming. In this episode I'll be giving you a how-to guide on Toth Zorn, the first encounter in the explosive conflict operations from 1.2. Right, the first fight of EC is a fight with two bosses, guys. The one on the right as you first enter the area is Toth, and the one on the left is Zorn. Both bosses patrol around the area, so you should wait until they're in the correct position before pulling. Right, the idea of this fight, guys, is to tank the bosses apart while DPSing them down. If the two get close to each other, they put a damage debuff on each other, which makes them do more damage. As the fight progresses, Toth will leap to Zorn, and anyone within, I think it's 25 or 28 meters of Zorn will get a fearful debuff, which doubles all incoming damage. So ideally you only want Zorn's tank, and if you're unfortunate, the healer with that group to take the debuff. Now when Toth leaps to Zorn, you need to do a tank swap. When the bosses are together, obviously they're getting this buff which increases their damage, so it's important to separate them as quickly as possible and get the bosses back in position. The safest way to deal with the fearful debuff, which comes from the charge, is to tank swap, so the tank that's on Zorn's now on Toth and is back in his position, and make sure that anyone else that's got the debuff is out of range. In addition to the tank swap, when Toth charges Zorn, he drops aggro. So all DPS need to be aware of this, because the boss also becomes immune to taunt for a few seconds. It is key to get the bosses apart from each other as quick as possible to reduce the increased damage buff they get. But the person with the aggro on Zorn can be running him back to the tank and making sure that as soon as the tank's able to taunt, he gets him in the right position. Right, after the tank swap, Toth will become enraged, and when he does this, Zorn will start firing rocks. The rocks will hit anyone within 30 meters, and while it's possible to move the DPS out so they don't get hit, it's not ideal, because each rock does 10k. Now if that's only hitting the tank, that's going to be very painful, so that's why you need all your range to be standing at 28 to 29 meters away from Zorn, so they don't get the fearful debuff, but they do get the rocks chucked at them. Right, the enrage timer on this fight, guys, is pretty tight, and any loss in DPS could mean you hit the enrage timer. So burn them down as quick as you can. Try to kill them at the same time. After the rocks are thrown, the bosses will jump together, and it's basically tank swap again. Now also you'll have red targets appear during the fight on the floor, which you just need to move off as spikes will come out the floor. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. What we did is we had two groups, one at the top, one at the bottom, consisting of 2 DPS, 1 tank, 1 healer in each group, and just positioned ourselves so we're at maximum range from the bosses. Now Toth will also be doing AoE. It'll hit pretty much everyone that's in the Toth group, so it's important to have a good healer that can keep them up. Also, you don't want no melee on Zorn because of the fearful debuff, so we had a operative, so we put him on to Toth. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This video was taken from our very first kill, so it was a bit messy. But I think this was our 3rd or 4th attempt. It's not that hard. I was finding it pretty healing intensive towards the end, but obviously a lot of people are not used to this fight, so there is a real sharp learning curve. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I missed anything out. Once the two heads that are at the top will jump down, that's basically Tank and Spank face them away from the raid and burn him down. And that's pretty much it, guys. So as always, cheers for watching, and if you enjoyed the video and you found it useful, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below, guys. And cheers for watching. Good job, let's raise the dead.